we're making sure that we are live because, you know, it's been fun lately in streaming media land. And I'm just going to check right now to make sure that we are live on the page. I believe we are. And yes, we are. We are live. We are good. So today we are here, April the 4th, 2020, with our service hero, Rachel Johnson. And I'm going to talk to you about Rachel Johnson. Rachel Johnson is someone that is new to me. She's in our community for Chemo Buddies for Life, and she was introduced to me by one of our leaders, Stephen Smith. She works with Stephen Smith as a volunteer. She also is someone that she's been raised in the foster care system, and then, like she said, she kicked herself out of that system, and she now is the mother of two young children, and her husband, a vet from our Navy, is actually having to work at home, and she is keeping everything going. And so we're going to talk about that today on Service Hero Show. So welcome, Rachel.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. And you know, I was really intrigued when you and I started visiting. You reached out to me, and I thought, wow, that's really cool. And you are working with Stephen Smith, and Stephen actually was the one that introduced you over to Chemo Buddies for Life. And you're working with him on his Life Begins group, correct?
Yes.
As an admin. What is it that you're doing with them?
Well, what I do is I'll usually will post a good morning post, and then after that, I will put a question out there. Either I'll think of one that has to do with positivity or like what hobbies they have, what kind of books they like to read, just general stuff. And if not, I have books that I get questions out of as well.
And let me ask you this, because you've made it you've been open and honest about who you are in other groups, and you don't mind sharing this because I think it's ever so inspirational. And that's why I want to say my hat, if though I'm not taking it off, but my hat's off to you, Rachel, because you're talking about books, yet you have some disabilities when it comes to the reading and some other areas, right?
Yep.
And yet you push yourself out of your comfort zone, as you put it, right?
Yes, I did.
And I just think that that is absolutely incredible, and I am so inspired by it. How did you decide that you were going to not only, if you will, push yourself out of your comfort zone, but you were going to push yourself out of the comfort zone and you were going to start doing live streaming? And you have even started your own live streaming group.
Well, actually, I have a craft group that I do go live in. Yes, it's been a while, and I'll be getting back into that here very shortly, where I kind of update them what crafts I've been working on and what I'm going to be doing going forward.
And, you know, I'm so impressed. I am. And we've got people that are stopping by and saying hi. I want to recognize them. We have Helene Wilson. Helene, welcome. So great to see you. We have Skip Thomas. Skip, great to see you. I hope all is well this Saturday. And and as you come in, please hashtag live, hashtag replay. Let us know that you're here also. You have two kids, two boys, right?
Oh
Ages
yeah,
5 and 12. They've got to be keeping you busy.
they definitely keep me busy.
And you were saying that you you volunteer at church, but right now the church is having to stream because of the fact that everybody is being told to stay home. But what do you typically do at church?
At church, I go get there at 8 in the morning. I'll start the coffee, make sure all our creamers are set up, stocked up, all the sugar and all that stocked up, get the water stocked up or poured in the pitchers, and then make a list in our back office on a whiteboard of what they need to pick up and that. Along with, well, we got donuts, but that I actually have somebody that comes in to help me out with that. Cause I got so much I gotta do is set up all the copies, two sides, two regulars on each side. Well, one regular on one side, one decaf, hot water on one, two regulars, decaf, and hot water on the other side.
I am so impressed because you know what? So many people would not be necessarily pushing themselves out of their comfort zones like you are. You have said, okay, these are things I'm going to do. I'm going to serve. I'm going to serve at my church. I'm going to find ways to get out of my comfort zone and serve there. You love to do crafts, so you don't just do your crafts. You now are encouraging others to post their crafts, share their crafts, and that's how you came across um, Carol. You Carol
Yep.
Brown, and now you're helping her to be able to share some of the things that she's doing.
And also, she will be teaching me on April 15th how to crochet for the first
I
time.
I love it. So what you're saying is the arts and crafts that you're doing right now, which you were sharing some of them, like this is one of your bracelets, and then
Yep.
that's one of your
It,
bookmarks,
it will be a bookmark once I cut it. Yep.
and you don't even crochet yet. So
Nope.
is that like what how is it that you do your bracelets right now?
Right now, what I do, actually, those are little. Hold on, I can show you. Give me 1 second to give you an idea what I actually use here. What I do is use these little threads that, needle points threads. That's what these
Right.
are.
Okay.
And what I do
Yes.
is I will use these, kind of pull them all, two of them apart, cut them, and then get the other one lined up, tie it in a knot, braid it, and then tie it at the end.
So they're braided.
Yep.
How smart is that? Good for you. And so you've got to be motivating quite a few people because here it is, and you were sharing with me, and I love the way you put things. Okay, so you were raised in the foster care system. You kick yourself out, yet at one point in time you decided that you needed a little bit of help. So you sought out and found your birth parents and actually went and spent time with them, right?
Yep. I moved to Arizona with them, and then we ended up moving back to Minnesota after a while. So,
And you are one of our buddies, and you're a buddy because you got a call at one point from your father,
mhm.
and you got permission to be able to share this with others. And when he called you, what did he say?
I found out that my real mom actually had breast cancer. Don't remember what year it was because I was here in Virginia. I couldn't get home. And that was like a shock to me that she ended up having to get surgery twice. Both breasts had to be removed.
And how
And
did that
she is now,
go ahead?
how did that, she was, we don't know how it happened. All I know is I just found out that that's what happened.
And how did that make you feel when you got that call?
Scared just because I didn't know what was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't gonna be able to be in person to be there for her, so I was there in spirit, and it was just like really hard because of the factors that you don't get to be there. You're all the way here in Virginia, so it was like
Mm-hmm.
super hard and
Right,
emotional.
right, right. And so you understand how when you are facing something like that, it would be really good to have someone to talk to, right?
Yes.
And so now that you are a part of our community, And I've seen you in the community chats. What do you think of those?
I actually enjoy being able to get on your lives when I get the chance and be able to interact with everybody. I enjoy that.
And sometimes they're fun, sometimes they're informational. I mean, yeah, they're fun,
Yeah.
right? I mean, they're
Oh
crazy
yeah.
fun at times.
Yes, they are.
You know,
But it's worth going to. Yeah, say it's worth going to watch because you guys always have information, or you just make it fun.
well, good. I'm glad to hear that because that's what it's all about. And so now you're a support buddy and you know what it's like to get that phone call. And so for you, you will be able to be there for someone else that sometimes says, I just got a call and I don't know how to handle it. And you'll be able and they can't go home possibly, because a lot of times that's what happens. You get that
Mhm.
call, you may be somewhere else. And right now, with the fact that most of us are at stay-at-home orders, that there's going to be a lot of people that are not going to be able to go home to take care of someone or be there with someone that's sick. You understand how that feels, right?
Oh yeah, I do.
And how did you decide that you were going to get through it? Is that how, did you reach out to your church? You've got to really, like you said, when you met your
This
husband,
is a. This is actually before I even started going to the Trinity Church. I just
okay.
ended up talking to my dad after I found out, and we kind of got through it that way.
So support buddy to support buddy is what it sounds like
Yeah.
because you were both support people and you were able to bond with, and now this is your birth father.
Yes.
Did that help you to bond with him that much more?
It definitely did. Because then I also had my husband here, so when I told him, he was here supporting me as well.
That's a lot of love. How important is that to you, love?
It's very important because if you don't get love, what's going to happen? You know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And as you and I were visiting this morning, you were talking about how you've been helping now to teach your kids about serving others, and one of the ways that you've taught them to serve is, and I love this, is by cleaning the house and by learning how to serve the family and keeping them busy, right?
And yep, and then yes, and actually one other thing is my older son, before our church closed, was actually helping in the infant toddler room as part of volunteering at our church as well.
Mhm. So you're teaching your next generation how they can help others.
Yep, with our 5-year-old, we kind of still working on him to make sure he understands if he makes a mess that he's got to clean it up.
Uh-huh.
So he's still working on it.
I know some that are maybe much older than that are still working on it. I want to say that Helene is saying, Rachel, we are all here for you. And we're all here for each other. And that's what I love about our organization within Chemo Buddies for Life. I, want to ask you this. You're working with Stephen Smith, and you're an admin, but you're more than that. You also are a secretary for him every week. When you guys have your Zooms, you take the
Yep.
notes and you take care of all of that.
Yes, I do.
How is that for you? I mean, I'm thinking again because I have family, total disclosure, I've talked about it a lot, that my kids have had IEPs, my kids have had quote unquote challenges, learning challenges, and we've worked through them. And not always is someone that is challenged in an area willing to face it and work through it and master it. For you to be a secretary, you had to have said, okay, I'm going to get out of my comfort zone. I'm going to push through. I'm going to serve as a volunteer, and I'm going to do this every week. That is very inspirational, Rachel.
Thank you.
You're welcome. How did you decide to raise your, to say, okay, I'm going to do this, and
Actually,
is it
let's
easy?
just put this. It's Stephen actually was doing it at one point, and I think it was getting to the point where he needed the help on keeping up track of everything. That's where he asked me to do it
And
with these Zoom calls. So,
you
and
just
I
said,
told him, yes, I will help you.
I love that. This is what it's all about, guys. And this is why I brought Rachel on. Think of it this way: everybody has a service hero inside of them. And it doesn't matter where we were raised, it doesn't matter who our parents were, it doesn't matter what natural gifts we were given. It doesn't matter. It matters our hearts and our minds and our souls. And Rachel, you have a heart, you have a mind and a soul that is all about overcoming, getting out of your comfort zone, and serving others. You are always looking for opportunities to do that. And you're not only looking for them, you are doing it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. There's days where I have a hard time just doing crafts, but I push myself and do them if I can. So I'm gonna say that right now. I'm actually got two projects I got to work on. I have a sign that I'm gonna be doing that says something about wake up with coffee, and then I got a pearl bead design that I'll be doing on a flower with yellow and green on it.
It sounds like it's going to be beautiful.
And then once those are done, they'll be posted in my craft group, which I actually did invite you, so I don't know if you had gotten that invite yet or not.
I am going to accept the invitation. Thank you very much. And so, if others
Yeah.
want to join your craft group, can they?
Yes, I can actually. What I'll probably do again today is post a link on my Facebook on my iPhone because I can copy it from there and post it on my timeline for those who want an invite. And if you have any friends that you know of that like crafts, just invite them and I can accept them in too as well.
Okay. And do you mind if we put it in the comments of this show?
You can do that. I will actually have to do it once we are off. I can do it right when we get off and put the link right in there.
Perfect. That's what we will do then. So as we start to get this all put together, because I know that I can hear the kids in the background, it sounds like a busy place, and they're doing great.
Yeah. My son's on Fortnite. My little guy's actually on my phone being really quiet over on our love seat. So they're being really good.
They're doing great. I give them all the kudos in the world, especially, and I've been talking about this in the last couple of days, is that I've got kids back in the house, and oh my goodness, it's fun. It's fun. And and there's a lot more of us because of the situation that we're going through right now. Many, many more people are joining together as families and having to to be there for the kids. I do have a question, one last question before we start to wrap this up, and that is, how are you helping your children to understand what is going on right now?
What I do is we just find stuff to do. I don't even watch news, so we don't talk about it. We basically try to find movies to watch or have them learn stuff that they don't know. With our younger son, I actually have a little kit I made for him for learning kindergarten because next year he'll be in kindergarten. So we have like I put alphabets, numbers in there. I even put extra numbers for working with him in math and that. So I have a little kit that I work with him in that.
So keeping them busy is what you're doing.
Yep.
And how are they doing with staying inside?
We do bring them out when it's nicer out, but when it's chilly out, we just kind of go on electronics, or we do stuff as a family and watch a movie together. So and that's actually one of our plans today. We just got to figure out what movie we want to watch.
Well, I'm sure that there's plenty, there's so many neat things out there. And for a 5 and 12-year-old, I'm sure that you'll find something that the family
Yeah.
can agree on, right?
Well, we got Disney Plus, we got Hulu, we got Amazon Prime, Netflix, so on our Xbox. So we got our apps there right there that we can choose from.
Well, excellent. I just want to say that I'm ever so inspired by you, Rachel, and so grateful that you reached out to us and to me, and that you've been willing to share your story and how it is that you are serving others, because I know you are. You are serving, and for all of you that are watching right now, please be sharing the love with Rachel, and letting her know that you too are seeing what it is that she's doing for so many people, because bringing crafts and art into people's lives, that is, you can heal through art. There is such healing properties in being able to work with your hands and being able to create items of beauty. And I am very happy also that you decided that you were going to push yourself in out of your comfort zone to start doing lives, and that you wanted to go live with us today here on Service Hero Show. Thank you so very much. Do you have anything you want to leave everybody with? Any thoughts that you have?
Um, One thought is the ladies that are watching, make sure you check yourself, your breast, and just make sure they are okay, and just protect yourself and just check to make sure you don't have breast cancer, and just reach out to people that might have that issue, or dealing with cancer. Just reach out to those guys, check in and see how they're doing.
Well, thank you very much for that, because it absolutely, especially right now, don't get out of your habits when it comes to making sure that you are okay, when it comes to, checking on other areas besides what everybody is thinking about right now with COVID-19 and Corona, because that's where everybody's focus is. But for us, those that have been affected by cancer, we are also very, very aware of the fact that that doesn't stop. That is something we need to stand up, because if you find it early, you will do fine. And we are here for you, for those that need us at Chemo Buddies for Life. So as we close today, Rachel Johnson, on April the 4th, for 365 days of awesome, celebrate success through service. Rachel, you are an inspiration to so many. Thank you for being willing to be out there, to get out of your comfort zone, and to share with others your talents, and being willing to serve when someone needs help, like Stephen Smith. Thank you for finding, and not only finding a way to serve at your church, but then organizing it and finding others that will help you to make sure that those things are done. And I'm sure that when all of this time is over and you get to get back into that congregational environment, everybody's going to be so excited to see that smile again and say, you know what, Rachel, there you are. I'm so happy to see you when I go and get my cup of coffee, my cup of Joe. Thank you for all that you do, and for all that you inspire. Rachel, you are definitely a service hero.
Thank you for letting me come on today as well. I actually enjoyed doing this. It's been a while since I've done a live with somebody else.
Well, it's my pleasure. Everybody, make it a great Saturday. And for the Chemo Buddies for Life, tonight is Success Saturday with Barbara Beckley. You do not want to miss it. It will be taking place, our chat, at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. It is always a fun time, and you will learn something you will be inspired to be successful and possibly even a bit of a diamond. Wink, wink. All right. See you all later. Bye bye.